I just spent upwards of $3 million on our Wymark seed farm, and none of it went to paying off our huge loan. So you've got a couple $1,000,000 to spend. What do you buy? Well, how about a brand new John Deere planting unit, the C850, along with the toolbar here, and we're gonna get some serious planting done now. Of course, to do all that planting, we also needed a bunch of land, so I bought a ton of land as well. Like 5 more fields, I believe, 5 more plots. So we've got a new planting unit and a bunch more land we need to go plant along with it. So we're sitting at what, $460,000-ish right now. I got workers out taking care of these new fields, putting some lime down before we get in there and start planting, so we can maximize our profits come the end of this year. I think I left enough, right? I think we should be all right. But this is the fun part for me. We're going to be putting some durum seed, some durum wheat down into these new fields right now. And this should, well, this yields pretty high. In fact, I've got quite a bit already still waiting to be made into the seed, the durum seed. You guys remember we're making seed from all of our crops right now? So we're going to do these 2 fields here in the durum wheat. Get around this corner. Nice and easy. It's a little bit bigger than the Amazon that we've been working with, so it's going to take us a little bit to get used to it, but I'm hoping we can hire Gertie to run this equipment as well, and I don't have to run anything once again. Got to hire as much as we can when we can. We still got like almost $500,000, so we still have enough money, I think, going forward. We should be okay. But yeah, we're still going through quite a bit as is right now, to be honest. I was a little surprised at how much we've been going through already just on lime.
That's going to cost you later.
Now, I have got quite a bit of seed back at the farm. We've made enough seed last year for replanting purposes. That should last us a couple of years. I do have a little bit of lime back there, but I'm telling our workers that they can buy the lime they need for now just to keep our lime stuff moving out. It's just when I use the lime, I end up having to run back and use the stuff we have back in our silo. There's still quite a bit left over there, though. I think we've got 50,000-ish liters of lime still we can use. But yeah, things are working out pretty well. So we got durum seed over here, and then we've got durum seed in the next one as well. We're going to roll these out right away, make sure we, like I said, maximize the most possible profit we can make off these fields, and get the environmental scores as high as we can on these fields sooner than later. It's going to take a couple years, but I mean, the fact we don't even need to plow anymore, guys, because of this planting unit is going to make my life so much better. So I've already hired Gertie to start working with that planter, the seeder. It's working out fairly well. I mean, look at this crop. We're getting 122%. That's awesome. All right, that's actually not bad. We should get a good yield off this. But let's take this back to the farm. We'll get the little John Deere back home. And we don't need to lime anything over here anymore, so we're done there. I've got a couple other fields we still need to take care of with the lime side. But workers are dealing with these fields now. These are our 2 closest fields. I won't be able to take care of anything else until April. So I've got a little bit to wait before we can plant the rest. As long as nobody T-bones me here in this intersection. Yeah, we got a couple more fields just down past town, just straight down that direction. We're not going to go down there right yet. I'm going to head back to the farm first, and then we've got some other things to take care of with the durum still. The durum wheat is still being planted. Last couple passes, it looks like. Might have a little bit more. But I'm thinking I'm going to plant something else with this still. Yeah, we might still be able to plant one of the big fields. These are big fields out here. I'm surprised, actually. I might have overguessed, because I want to try and balance out the wheat, the lentils, and the peas, because our seed factory is not working out very well with the timing of it all. Right now, we have way too much durum wheat, and maybe I think I shouldn't have planted this with the durum wheat the more I think about it now, but whatever. We'll see how we make do at the end of the year here. Let's take this back over to the shop, and we'll see how we make do. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem, though. We got to get all the way down south through town with this at some point later on. I never thought about this part, guys. That'll be fine. Best driver in Farm Sim. All right, so it is April, and we have an extremely busy day ahead of us. We got some new equipment to show you as well. Okay, I probably didn't need this particular sprayer. We got the New Holland sprayer for taking care of our new weeds. Well, all the weeds. I didn't really need to go this big, but we have it. This is going to replace the John Deere bull behind. But you can see this one field, for some reason, it was plowed, I guess, beforehand. I didn't know it was plowed. We don't need to go into this second field. The first field we did, though, yeah, we need to spray that. Now, the reason we went with this particular model over the John Deere, guys, it was just price. Pure and simple. It was about a third less. I think 264,000, I want to say off the top of my head, was the price on this. Now, we bought this back a month or so ago, I guess, so this was not part of the money we've left the account over the last 24 hours. This is all part of the $3 million we spent over the last 3 months or so, I guess I should say. But once again, it does have the spot and spray on, so we're saving on herbicide, kind of like what the John Deere, the pull behind sprayer did. But this one here is just all in one, and just a little more user friendly. All right, field is completed. Let's head back over to the farm. We still got some spraying to do, probably about a month from now, maybe May we'll have to do a little bit. For now, we got to get back to planting, guys. It's time to start planting our fields. So you know what? That's a great time for me to remind you, if you are new around here, you enjoy these types of videos, go to the bottom, hit that big subscribe button, and subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you're not new and you enjoy this stuff, well, slap a like while you're there as well. Just coming around the corner here, everything's kind of lined up. I've set everything up earlier this morning. We've got all our trucks, we got our planters, everything's hooked up. We got the roller, of course. Let's get to planting. Man, this thing is something else. This is such a big planting unit. We're gonna get it over across. Luckily, the farm itself has got tons of room. Got some pretty good sized fields out here in Wymark, so it does make it worthwhile to have this massive planting unit in order to take care of this. You can see we've got the lentils in here, so we're gonna be planting some lentils on these big fields. Reason I'm trying to plant, I'm going to plant these on a majority of our fields because the yield we're getting off the lentils, guys, is pretty minimal by comparison to both the durum wheat and the peas. They both tend to give us a lot higher yield, so it takes the seed factory a lot longer to get through those. For instance, the durum wheat last year, we didn't even get through all of the durum wheat in the factory over the course of the year, so there's still stuff being processed as we speak. The lentils, however, they were done within the matter of no time. I think we only made about 70,000 liters of lentils. So you got to start, there's going to be a bit of a strategy in how we're going to be proceeding through this. I'm going to have to finish this last pass and we'll get a worker out in this field. Perfect. Looks good. Everything's coming together out here as we move through these fields. Yeah, like I said, guys, I need to try to maximize, well, hiring people through this and then strategizing which fields we're going to be doing. So once again, we're putting more lentils down in here. It should be okay. I think these two are pretty big fields. I'm going to put a whole bunch more lentils down to the south of us still on some of our new fields. Let's follow in behind with the roller. Now, once again, speaking of strategies.
The question is, do these strategies ever not work for me?
The roller is a little bit bigger than even that planting unit. So I have to somewhat strategize on how I'm going to roll this out a little bit because it's going to be a couple feet over the actual width of the planter. So you just got to think that through a little bit. Sometimes if I could get two headlands done instead of just one, it's probably better off. And also, I don't want to, I got to be a little bit gentle when we're driving this because I could easily skid and wreck the seeds if I like run out any of these fields and I won't plant and we'll be missing a little bit. Anyways, I also got Gertie hired on this one. She can take care of the rest of this as the planting. Matilda's got the planting unit out. You know what? Once again, I'm hands off. This is kind of what I'm trying to do here, is be as hands off as possible. One more pass on this field. We're just moving on down the road. This is a smaller field. We bought one of the smaller fields. This was only $110,000. I think I just picked this up just this last little bit here. But gotta finish it all off. I love how I can't quite get the loss a little bit. By the way, this planting unit is way too big for this small little field. This is like, what is it? Was 3 acres maybe, something like that. Just a tiny little plot of land by comparison to some of the other stuff we're running right now. But whatever, I'll take whatever I can get as long as I don't forget to harvest it. Back on through over the bridge. Hopefully it's rated for all this equipment. And we have another couple big fields down here. As you can see, all of this stuff that's limed, guys. Everything that's limed is ours for the most part down here. We're getting down close to the railway area, the railway station and everything. But all these big fields down here so far we managed to pick up. There is one field off to the right side of us, off to the north. We don't own. Everything to the south down here is ours for the most part. There's one field that's not, but everything else is. Roller's finished up on that field now as well. Guys, I'm just keeping up. We're just hiring workers. I'll set them up, get them prepped, and then they can go and take care of the work while I make sure that I'm planning out what I'm going to plant and where. Like I said, for the most part, it's lentils right now because of the yield we get. Another field already rolled out. It's all coming together. A little field doesn't take too long to get through that, let's be honest. Come on, fold up faster, fold up faster, fold up faster, please. All right, so Matilda should be out in the middle of this field. I believe she's working her way through here. I've got to lime a little bit more still down here. You can see we've got the John Deere 6, the 6R sitting right there ready to go. Now, just to quickly show you what we've planted, 19 and 20 have been the lentils. We're going to 23, which is going to be peas. We're finally planting peas. And this is a good sized field. Now, once again, I'm strategizing exactly the size of our fields versus the yield we're going to get off each of our crops. The peas should be a little bit more than the lentils by quite a bit. The lentils are so low. Matilda's just finished and rolling off that field, rolling out that field, I should say. We've got the peas planted. We've got to go get through town, so let's fold this thing up. It takes a hot second for this thing all to fold up. Might as well watch as everything gets folded into place. It does take a little bit of time. You got to sit there and wait for a bit. It's a little bit slower than like the Amazon, for example. But once we get it up, we should be able to get through town. It's still a little bit wide. I almost need, I don't know, I'm tempted to get some help to get through town so traffic doesn't get in my way, but what do you do? We're out here on our own right now. Yeah, don't trust Gertie to drive. We'll let Matilda take care of the rest. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see if we can get through town. Beacons, hazards, everything's on. Let's go for a short, it's a short drive. We got about, what, 2 miles maybe? It's not too far, but it's not exactly the widest road. And I got to watch over tracks. Yeah. A lot of telephone poles. Easy, just easy does it. And as we get closer to town, it's just a little bit more traffic. That's all. You know what? Just get out of my way. There's not a lot of space here. Just squeeze on through. Skinny thoughts.
Don't give up on me. You can do this. Suck it in.
Skinny thoughts past the animals. The animal dealership, the auction house right there. Our field is just to the south, so on the right-hand side coming up. We've got to get in behind, over that silo system, basically. You can see all the line back there. That's where we're kind of trying to get to. I'm not going to be able to turn down there. I thought I would be able to turn down there, but that car kind of blocked us in. I guess we're going to go right over to the silo system, guys. I was planning on turning to the right. I was looking through some of these roads. These alleys look pretty tight past the school. Yeah, none of this looks great right now. I'm not going to lie. This is not ideal. I'm going to keep going all the way to the silo system. That's it. I think I have to. And then, well, the fields will be past the silo and back towards our farm, at least on that side. But there should be space in the parking lot up here for us to put equipment if we ever need to come up here. I think we'll, like when we harvest up here, we'll probably park in that area. That's probably the best spot. But all right, we got up here. There's no more traffic. At least we made our way through. And once again, I'm planting peas up in these fields. We got two good-sized fields, not huge by comparison, but these ones cost us a little bit more to purchase than the other one, just by the proximity to town. I'm sure is the big thing right there. The fields I'm finding right now are starting to get pretty high in prices, guys. We've bought all the cheaper fields for now, at least. So unless we can get some kind of a discount on some of these fields, it's going to start getting a little bit pricey for the size of each of these fields. I mean, we've taken, a third of the area, the heart of the county is now ours. And I'm hoping by the time we get this planted, well, we should be even further along. I'm hoping next year we can buy another, maybe get up over another third, so we only have like a third left. We'll see how much we do, but things are looking good. Right now, we're down to $165,000. Yeah, that's not a lot. I've had to buy some herbicide, some fertilizer for the factory, so that ended up costing us another $100,000. Yeah, it's money is starting to become a little bit more hard to come by right now. We're getting a little lower than I want to be. I was expecting to have more cash as we got through planting season here. Matilda's still rolling it out. Looks pretty good. Yield looks like it's going to be good on these fields. I mean, it's going to take us some time to figure it all out, but I'm happy, guys. That's it for planting, though. We've got it all done. So you know what? It's I've got to come back and weed through these fields, of course, but everything's looking decent right now. I didn't know if we were going to get it all done this morning, but you know what? New planting going to go through it pretty darn quick. You know what? Let me see if I can squeeze through this. I just want to squeeze through this alleyway. I saw this on the way in here. I'm like, can I fit through that? It looks pretty tight with this thing. I think we can do it though, right? Come on, squeeze in. Skinny thoughts. Skinny thoughts. Oh boy. Yeah, we're good. Best driver at Farm Sim. Let's go. You know what? Not just anybody could do that, right? Okay, pretty much anybody could. But regardless, we're good. Back to the farm. All right, no trains. Good. I'm not really looking forward to making too many more of these trips all the way down here, but that's only the two fields we own down that way so far. I think next year we're going to have to buy a couple more in that neck of the woods as we progress, but things are coming together. Let's take a quick look at well, here's the whole county, as you can see. Everything we own, you guys, like I said, we own about a third. That big field in the corner we got to buy, that's a couple $1 million. So everything else, is still pretty expensive as well right now. We've bought pretty much everything that I thought was kind of cheap and efficient. All I got left to do now is start to clean stuff up. All right, so easy day ahead of us. The rest of the summer is pretty easy since everything's been fully fertilized with that new planting unit. All I got to do is spray. Super simple with our new sprayer, our New Holland sprayer, and really doesn't take us much time at all. I just got a bunch of fields to get through, so I'll work through this for the day. And I'll see you come, I guess it'll be July, I believe our lentils should be, or some of our fields should be ready. I'll see you guys shortly with our new crops. We'll see you guys in a couple months. And just like that, it's back to harvest season. It feels like we just finished harvesting, but we're back at it once again. This is great. Let's get into it. All right, get this thing fired up. Now, one thing I am noticing, well, I have been noticing the last little bit, of course, is we're down to 100,000 even pretty much right now. Yeah, I foresee some problems coming in the near future. I want to try to lime as we go. We're going to try and hire some workers to lime. But, yeah, it's going to be a little bit expensive all of a sudden, guys. We're getting close here. Of course, I want to hire workers to, well, do most of the work for me as well. And that's going to start eating into my profits because I don't really want to harvest on my own anymore. But, yeah, $100,000 in the old bank account. Can I get through harvest with that? Can I get into the new year? Now, a lot of that money is getting spent on interest, of course, and the principal of our loan. So, I mean, every month we're losing roughly $20,000. We're down under $3 million. I think we owe $2.9 million on our loan right now. So money is definitely coming down, our mortgage, I should say. The loan is coming down slowly, but every month I lose about $20,000 that goes to paying off that loan, unfortunately. So that's something I have to keep in mind. And once we're down to, well, $100,000 right now, you do the math on that, that's 5 months worth of payments I can afford to make right now. I might have to take out a loan to pay for my loan at some point in time here at the rate we're going. I'm just saying, it's not a great place to be at right now. Don't hit my truck. Don't hit, she just rubbed up against it, right? It's just a little bit of a rub. It's okay. Plus, I need to pay for my employees going forward, and that's going to be an interesting question going forward. Now, we are in July, of course. We typically sell everything in January. So I've already been thinking that through as well. That means that we're not going to have any money in the old account right now, as of right now, come January. And I'm sure I'm going to spend probably most of this money today. It's going to be, I bet you, at least $60,000. I bet you I'll spend in re-prepping all these fields today. Just saying, it's going to be an expensive month. July is going to be expensive with our harvest, between reliming these fields, and right now I've got a couple of workers hired. It's going to get pricey. Like, usually I would hire someone to do the carting. I'm trying to take care of that part myself right now because I just know today is going to get extremely expensive going forward. That's our first load right there. Let's go dump that in. I mean, at least on the bright side, we're getting a pretty good yield, it looks like, off this field. That's the durum wheat, like I said beforehand. We get pretty high yields off this. I do have quite a bit of durum wheat that's waiting to be turned into seed. I bet you I have 500,000 liters of durum wheat sitting in the factory right now. So I could always potentially just go and sell that off. Like, look at all this wheat we're getting, guys. It's substantial amounts we're getting. We've already done 1 truckload. We're not even fully done this field yet. I'm just saying, we're getting quite a bit off of this. Now, as we move over to this bigger field, this one here is, I believe we're close to 40 or 50 acres on this field. This one here is the biggest field of durum wheat we planted, and I've got to make quite a long run back and forth. Funny thing is, I could almost make this far right back to our silo system before, but every time I get down here, it's like they're done. I make a trip down at the truck, and you can see the harvester is already needing to be unloaded. She's got the beacons on down there. So I didn't see exactly how much we had for this field. This is our last pass, as you can see, as we make our trek down to the very end here. But it was pretty successful. I mean, we're going to end up with probably about between the seed factory and what we have in the silo, about 1 million liters, I bet you, in total right now, that we're going to need to turn into seed, of course. It's not going to get done by December, so the seed factory is going to have to keep on working. That's the other thing I'm going to spend money on. Yeah, I forgot the seed factory. You know what? Let's push some of this over, actually. This is a good idea. Let's move a little bit of our durum wheat over into the seed factory, just to make sure this thing's running constantly. I'm pretty sure there's still stuff in here, though. All right, so I almost forgot. Those other 2 new fields we got were planted later on, so it took till August before they were ready, which is August now. And We got more durum. We have more durum wheat to take off these fields. I got so much durum wheat, it's going to be crazy. Regardless of which, that's how. Where's the truck going? You're going the wrong way. Matilda, you're going the wrong way. Why is she going there? She's full, and oh, there she goes down. She spun around and is going back to the farm. For some reason, she went that direction instead of the direction she's going. Regardless of which, we're down to $50,000, and we still have a lot of fields to go plant. I did take care of liming all the old fields, mind you, so that's done at least. But I still have, I mean, these two fields here we just harvested, and then, of course, everything else we're going to do today, which is quite a bit. So it's gonna get a little dicey. I mean, I thought 400, almost $500,000 I thought would be more than enough to get through a harvest. I hate to be proven wrong, but it's not looking very promising for us right now. Last pass, finally. Last pass over here. And this should be it for the durum wheat. I don't think I've got anything. Yeah, this is definitely the last of the durum wheat. These two fields over here. Once these are done, then we can move along and go get into, well, I think we got the lentils, guys. The lentils will be next. They look pretty good, and I'm curious to see if we managed to strategize properly. Did we do it? I have no idea. Let's load this up and get this truck back to the silo. We're gonna have to make some swaps here with equipment and move some things around. But yeah, it's doing all right. I think it's a lot of freaking durum wheat though. Holy, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. It is a problem, but it's not. I mean, you can only complain so much about having a good yield, I guess, right? Away we go. Let's move this thing on over, and let's go see what kind of trouble we can get into back over on the lentil fields, which is kind of on the far side. You know what? I'm just going to drive this through the field, so I don't have to take the header off. I left the trailer on the far side. All right, lentils. Finally getting into this. This is going to be a little bit of a slower crop for me because, like I said, lower yield. I don't necessarily need to chase the combine around as much. Gertie's pretty good with this. You can see, yeah, we're getting fairly good yield off this, it looks like right now. But it's going to be interesting to see how much we have to get off this. And like I said, I want to try and balance this out as much as possible so our factory works as efficiently as possible. There's no sense in not having something to make over the course of the winter and the new year. So the more lentils is going to be, like the lentils is going to be the crux of all of our factory making going forward. We ran out of these, like by the time I think it was December, last year, January, I think we made them all. We were able to sell off every single bit of lentil seed we made. So it was by far the only crop that was underwhelmed, I guess, as far as the yield we got off it. This year might be a little bit different because we have quite a few more fields as we push on through. If I can get I don't know, like what are we getting right now? If I can get a couple 100,000 liters of the lentils, that should be sufficient, I would think. That's kind of my goal, I think, right now. I should probably get like a number system where I figure out exactly what the yield, my expectation of yield is for each crop of these three crops going year by year. The only difference will be is when I need to make seed. That would be the only difference, because obviously then we're going to plant like a barley field or something along those lines, so we can just make that into seeds so we can replant with it. That would be the only kind of caveat to my plan going forward, and the fact we're always buying fields, of course, as well. So far decently, but I mean, okay, so I've got 36,000 in here right now, 35,000, and I haven't unloaded. I have not had to unload this into a truck yet. This is the first load so far. You remember how much we were getting for the durum wheat, guys? Like this would have been about 3 truckloads back and forth to the farm already into the main silo. This is what I mean. It's just very, very low yield by comparison. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's not as profitable, I don't think, in the same run because of the difference in yield. That's all. It looks like we're going to get 1 truckload-ish off this, and then we're off to the second one. By the way, double dump. Did anybody say double dump? Let's head over down to we got one more field just down right alongside the silo system here on the far side of the sunflower field. And we should be able to get in there. Let me move all this stuff out of the way. Trucks go back to the silo. We just have to go everything down to the far side. Once again, I've got time though. Really, we've got a ton of time where we can just kind of move everything down there and harvest, and I don't need to rush around and worry that there's going to be something idling and not working because the yield's so slow. The combines doesn't fill up that fast. You can see even I'm unloading when we're only 64% full on our wagon, on our grain cart here. So really, I'm not running any problems with that. It does make for an efficient harvest with this stuff when you got this kind of a low yield, but hopefully I've strategized correctly with the amount that we had to pull off. That field is done. We still have another big field, actually 3 big fields just to the south. You can see the grain cart parked in the field over there. Matilda's heading back to the farm. Hopefully she doesn't crash into anybody. I'm just gonna jump her through the ditch, and we're gonna prep ourselves down here on the south side. These south fields, we got 3 down here, and I believe 1 more. I think these are the 3 last lentil fields I have. Unfortunately, I forgot one of them with the weeds. Yeah, it's not great. That's going to affect the old harvest, the yield a little bit for sure. Oh well, what do you do? All right, everything's coming up. Looks decently. Lentils, like I said, down here, pretty decent yield. We're almost maximizing everything we can on both of these fields, as you can see. You know, 85% or 89-ish, depending on the soil types, of course. But 16 and 20 some acres respectively between the 2 fields as well. Should be a decent harvest. We finish off these lentils. We've got last fields here, and then we've got to move over, and we're going to finally get into the peas, which will be just over to the east of us. We got a couple more lentils to grab. We got these 2 fields, and then that's it. I am running low on money for running lime, though. I'm just looking right now, and as we're down to $13,000 from almost $500,000. What was I? Oh man, I'm running this farm into the ground.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Okay, that is it, and $4,000. I think we need to stop liming for now. I'm extremely concerned that we're running so low on money I won't be able to afford to keep my workers running right now. We need to stop with the lime, and we'll worry about that later. Because for now, we need to get the peas off as well. We got peas. We got 3 fields of peas. Yeah, this one here plus the 2 in town, and then we can deal with the lime situation. I'm gonna have to deal with the lime myself. With $4,000 left in the account, guys, I've got to do that. We're gonna be in the hole very soon because of the loan amount as well. But let's not worry about that right now. That's tomorrow Klutch's problem. Today, let's not get hit by a train. That's the biggest concern right now. Yeah, last little bit of peas. Decent yield off the peas so far. It's not as good as the wheat or the wheat, of course, but at the same time, the peas actually might be the most profitable crop. I don't know yet. The durum wheat or the peas, because of the yield we get off them, I'm not sure which one would be considered the most profitable. They're pretty close. It was 6 and 1, half dozen the other. Once again, the problem becomes the time. So I can harvest as much as I want to get off this, but there's only so much I can turn into seed while it's sitting in the factory. All right, that's going to do it for the peas, guys. At least on this field, we got to head back through town. Now this one's, like I said, this is the hardest field for us to reach. We've got to go and hook up the trailer to the header and drag everything through. I can't get the trailer, that header through town, hooked up to the combine. So I'm going to unload these into the truck. We'll probably send the truck back and dump this off the silo as is. It'll only have, we got 34,000 in there right now. That's all going to go back to the farm, and then we'll have everyone reconvene over at the other field. Got the truck here hooked up with the header, of course. Let's go for a little drivey drive. Let's go take this through town. Should be good. Gertie can handle a little truck. I mean, it's only, I think it's like a 3/4 ton suspension on that thing, that old Ford. It should be able to handle it, though. I hope. It is a big header, but I mean the weight's all balanced as long as it can pull it. Come on, just nice and easy around the corner. Yeah, she's good. Yeah, it's not exactly the biggest farm truck out there, but it's pulling a header. I don't know, what does a header weigh? I have no idea what 40-foot. What does a 40-foot header weigh, guys? What would be the total weight on that thing? I have no idea. Are we talking what? Like, oh man, I don't even dare guess, to be perfectly honest. A couple thousand pounds, I'm assuming, but. Off the top of my head, I just don't know. Off the top of that truck it should be able to handle it, right? That truck could handle upwards of 7,000 pounds, maybe pull, like on a straight pull like that. Anyways, parked over by the silo system. Of course, we got our grain cart here ready to rock as well. Truck should be on its way. The semi truck should be on its way. Matilda's bringing that down, but everything else is set and ready to rock here. So we just gotta get this thing going and finish off these last 2 fields before I run out of money. We're racing. Now we're not racing weather, we're not racing anything else, we're racing money, and it's not looking great. I need to get these off today, because if we pay for another loan installment comes out of the old bank account, I'm not going to be able to hire any workers. Once again, this is going to be a tomorrow Klutch problem. Just need to get through this. Oh boy, it's getting so tight as we get through the last little bit here. We've got $3,400 left in the account, and that is it for harvest. The last of our peas, but $3,400, you guys. Oh gosh, what happened? What did I do? What did I do? I spent all my money on prepping these fields. Luckily, I mean, I've got seed, so I don't need to buy seed, and I can replant come the new year. But man, we're broke by comparison to where we should be right now. I own a lot. I got a lot of fields. I got some new equipment, but holy shnikes, am I ever in trouble financially right now? Yeah, it's not great. We'll get this all back, and we need to clean everything up, but that's it for the harvest at least. Oh boy, that's not good. That's not good. Don't hit my... Oh, good, it missed, right? Looks like it missed. Yeah, I think it missed. She got out of the way. Oh, she didn't get out of the way. Definitely didn't get out of the way. Yeah, that's a big ouchie right there. Oops. All right, everything's back at the farm. I've got some cleaning up to do, of course, as per usual. I mean, that's 3 par for the course. We're down to $3,400, guys. You know what? Let's make myself feel a little bit better. Let's take a quick look at what our yields were, what our harvest, what our bounty was this year. Let's take a quick look and see how we did, shall we? I mean, okay, let's take a look. Durum wheat, 262,000. That's what we got in the silo. Not bad. The peas, 215,000, and the lentils, 210. You know what? We balanced that out pretty good. Now, don't forget, we did already stick 1 truckload of the durum wheat into the factory, so there's that. But you know what? Not bad. I mean, I balanced that out fairly well, as you can see, between those three. You can see the durum seed and the peas. We seed. We already have almost 200,000 of each-ish in the factory, ready to be sold off come January. But yeah, we'll be okay. We got lots of money potential right now, right? I mean, let's take a look at the old factory here. You can see durum wheat, almost 700 and some thousand. Guys, that's a ton. Almost 800,000 of the durum wheat. 200,000 of peas and lentils now moved into the factory. Yeah, it's a lot of factory work that's going to happen over the next few months. There's no way that durum wheat's going to be made into seed in time. I'm telling you that right now. It's just not possible. Yeah, so we're going to have enough once we sell everything off, that's for sure. But so now until Christmas time, I guess we're putting all our Christmas presents on the old Visa this year because we got no money at all going forward, at least until January, I hope. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And of course, check back when we've got the next video where we try and figure out how we're going to pay off all our debts in the next little bit here. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. This is Klutch from Wymark. Over and out.